Today I want to talk about something I noticed when I was having lunch. Something that happens more often than we realize. It's a specific kind of laugh. I call it the laugh of embarrassment. It happened a lot when I was in school, especially in primary school. The teacher would ask a question. The class would go silent. No one wanted to speak. Then, finally, one student, usually the same brave few, would stand up and answer. Their answer wasn't what the teacher expected. It might have been a bit unusual, a bit creative, but it made some sense. And instead of being heard, they were laughed at. I saw the same scenario recently when I was having lunch in a restaurant. There were 6 teenagers sitting at the table next to me, maybe 15 years old, max. One of them asked a question, something about a project they'd been working on at school, and then they all went silent. No one wanted to speak first. Eventually, one boy answered. He raised a very interesting, creative point. I didn't hear the full conversation, but I heard enough. And then, almost on cue, the other boys started laughing at him, saying he was being silly, saying it was a stupid answer. But from what I could hear, his answer actually made a lot of sense. I don't think his friends got it. Now, here's the question. Why did the other boys laugh? Was it really because that boy was being silly? No, I don't think so. From my experience, that laugh isn't really about him. It's about them. It's a laugh of embarrassment. A way to comfort themselves. A way to feel better about their own silence. Think about it. Before that boy answered, everyone was silent. Either they didn't have the courage to speak, or they didn't have an answer ready. They didn't know how to answer the question. Only that boy answered. That created an imbalance. He had done something they couldn't, or wouldn't do. Deep down, the other boys were likely feeling embarrassed, because they couldn't find the courage, or they didn't have an opinion to share. They might have felt inferior to the boy who answered. And that feeling is uncomfortable. It's vulnerable. It challenges your sense of self. But here's the thing about human nature. It can be very, very difficult to admit that we're not as good as someone else. To admit that someone else was braver, or smarter, or more creative. That's a hard pill to swallow. So instead of sitting with that discomfort, we find a way to feel superior again. We laugh. We mock. We dismiss. By laughing at him, the other boys could convince themselves, he's not actually smart. He's just silly. We're not inferior. He's just weird. It's a defense mechanism. A way to protect their ego. A way to restore the balance without actually doing the hard work of admitting they were afraid to speak. I've seen this so many times. The laugh of embarrassment. It's the laugh that says, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm going to make you the problem instead. It's not about the person being laughed at. It's about the person doing the laughing. And it's worth reflecting on, because I'm sure most of us have come across situations like this. Maybe you were on the other side of the table. Maybe you were the one being laughed at. Or maybe, and this is the harder one to admit, maybe you were the one doing the laughing. When you're laughed at, it's easy to feel discouraged. It's easy to think, they're right. I'm stupid. I shouldn't have spoken. But I want to suggest something different. When you're laughed at, pause. Ask yourself, why did they laugh? Really think about it. Was it because your answer was genuinely wrong? Or was it because your answer made them feel uncomfortable? Was it because you did something they couldn't do? When you realize that the laugh is often about them, not you, it loses its power. And if you ever find yourself laughing at someone, especially when they've said something brave or creative, ask yourself the same question. Why did I laugh? Was it because they were funny? Or was it because I felt embarrassed that I didn't speak first? That question will reveal a lot about your own insecurities. Next time you hear that laugh, look beneath the surface. You'll see human nature at work. A group of people trying to feel better about themselves by bringing someone else down. And when you see it for what it is, you'll stop letting it affect you.